And welcome back into the Taco Truck YouTube. Here is the premiere of Puff City on YouTube. If you didn't know, this is where I am streaming live from 3 days a week over on Twitch. It's not so bad, right? We got the security car out here in case you try to get any funny ideas. We're gonna come find you. Let me head over to the left here. Let me head down to the stadium and let's take a little look at what is going on down there. And wouldn't you know, here we are. We've got the Lambo. We've got the highlights on the screen in the background. We've got the stadium ready. Stadium ready for some battles from yesterday night. Some more of the Machamp team. It was running pretty good. I'm pretty excited about it. I gotta be honest. It was looking pretty good. Let's get a little closer to the stadium here as we get there. You know, if you want tacos, if you want merch, we've got everything here. It's not quite ready yet, but it will be soon. I promise you, it will be soon. And I'm really excited for it to be. Let's keep on going inside. And next in, wouldn't you know it, here we are up the stairs. And where you've been seeing this content come from, inside Puff Stadium. To the left, we've got the stadium itself. To the right, we've got all of the streaming rooms and whatnot that you see me coming from. We also have some streaming rooms in the outside around the corner by the security car actually as well. So let's head in though. We've got some pretty cool battles to get to today. I'm pretty excited about it. And today we're going to be looking at the Machamp team again. We have some very some close battles to go through here. Let's start with a couple of lost leads is where I want to start with first. It's usually pretty interesting depending on, you know, how the matchup plays out, how the lead plays out. So as you can see here, we're leading into the Gyarados. Basically, you want to find out if it's Waterfall or if it's Dragon Breath. If it's Dragon Breath, you lose. So Dragon Breath, we lose. We swap immediately. If it's Waterfall, you can win the one shield. We're going to go straight into the Snorlax, and they stay in, which is great news for us. I'm surprised that this person is staying in at this point. As we get into a body slam against it, we've almost got half of its life down, so the Gyarados is now just about in Rock Slide range, which is pretty big for us. Means our Machamp really threatens the Gyarados now, instead of the Gyarados being able just to tank the move and not have to worry about it too much. And with a late swap, they come in with a Mamoswine. Mamoswine, which is going to be pretty weak to my Machamp in the lead. So it was a little surprising seeing that coming out as late as we do. And I think this is going to put me in a pretty good spot to be able to come back in this game. Going to be getting into the body slam was shielded. I'm trying to throw the superpower. Really wanted to get that superpower before this CMP'd charge move, and I do decide last second to shield it against this Mamo. The superpower is really valuable against it, and I can always switch out into my Machamp, and the opponent is still going to be switch locked. So that's my thought process here. They're switch locked. I can get these last couple attacks on the Machamp. They're going to come back in with their Gyarados, which we can now threaten anyway, and then we're going to pick up the matchup from there, basically having used most of my Snorlax to feint their Mamoswine, and then their Gyarados is about half health, well within Rock Slide range. We can tank both an Aqua Tail and a Crunch here, so no problem on this charge move. We're going to get that last shield if he wants to use it. Close combat, not really coming into play in this game. Just the utility of Rock Slide really showing what it can do. And then, of course, last but not least, though, our friend, the Metagross, who is not going to see the close combat coming here. Just one shield left, though, so if you're the Metagross, you kind of got to be thinking, you know, you shielding at some point, right? And as you'll see, though, just expecting the cross chop, and it doesn't come, means we're going to be able to just come in and farm this Metagross down. Even with the shield, we can let him Earthquake our Metagross. It's going to get rid of his energy, and then our Snorlax will be able to deal with that last little bit of the Metagross for a nice win. A nice win and a really good comeback in that battle. got more battles than usual today, that's for sure. But I think there are some really good ones in here. So coming up next, we have another lost lead here. And this was a really, really close game here. So if you're using this team and you want to learn how to use it, I figure these are going to be some of the games where you're going to get some of, you're going to get to learn a lot here. So we have the Togekiss lead, right? What do? You want to go straight into your Snorlax. The reason why you want to go Snorlax and not Metagross is if they do swap out, you can win switch advantage. It means you can then get your Metagross onto their Togekiss, which is big. And they may think you don't have it because you didn't swap it in. So the opponent here swaps in his own Snorlax. He makes a great swap there. He gets the Body Slam onto the Snorlax, although the reality is I would have thrown Body Slam onto the Snorlax anyway. So no harm, no foul there. The only harm being that we did not get to Body Slam the Togekiss. So that Togekiss has a little bit more life than we want. It would have been really, really nice to get that Body Slam on the Togekiss. And we take an Outrage. So one thing to note here if you're watching these videos, from a couple days ago to today, there's a lot more Outrage. So as you play the last few days of Masters League, really expect Snorlaxes to have Outrage over Earthquake, is what I have found. So you're going to get a lot of Body Slam, a lot of Outrage, and not very much Earthquake right now, which is really, really surprising. I don't think I've played another Superpower Snorlax. It's really nice having that unpredictability with Snorlax. Basically all of its charge moves are good. So you're going to see this matchup play down here. I sneak in my own superpower. I'm thinking if I should see a shield here or not. I don't, and I'm not able to get to my Body Slam. So I make a mistake. I thought I was going to be able to get to that Body Slam, and now we have the Machamp that we're going to come back in with, knowing that their Togekiss is going to come back onto the playing field immediately. And so knowing the Togekiss is coming back on the field immediately, we queue up our swap. I'm clicking it. It just doesn't show it. I'm clicking it between clicking the top there. And it comes through, we get the swap in, and they immediately swap out to a Swampert, right? And you think, okay, well, game's over. Swampert, 2 shields versus my Metagross and 2 shields. But not quite. So we're going to do our best here. As you know, we're going to go straight Meteor Mash on the first one. We do get the shield, which is beautiful. And knowing that we have just about a close combat ready on our Machamp in the back, we're going to let this go. And we're going to think about going Earthquake here. Because if he doesn't shield the next charge move and it's the Earthquake, it's actually just going to win the game for us. So we're going to have to spend 1 shield here. We did just get a Hydro Cannon. The Swampert could have Earthquaked us there and killed us, but he missed an opportunity there. It happens a lot. They really just go straight Hydro Cannon. It's such a good move. So you're going to see here, I'm going to go for the Earthquake, really hoping that the opponent doesn't shield here. This is a win condition. If they don't shield, thinking it's another Meteor Mash, we win the game here. But he does shield correctly, and because of that, he's going to then get off his next Hydro Cannon, and I'm in a really tough spot. I need to preserve this Metagross because his Togekiss is not dead, and this is where getting the Body Slam on the Togekiss would be such a big deal. Think about if I got the Body Slam off on the Togekiss, it would have about half life. This would actually have KO'd and we would have won the game. So me just not launching the Body Slam in time before the swap actually did win the game for my opponent. So a great job on their swap from the Togekiss into the Snorlax. When it happened, I didn't think it was very important, but as the game comes to a close, it was the biggest move of the game. So even though I lost the lead and swapped, their swap on the charge move ends up winning the game for them. And as you can see, it comes down to the absolute wire here. Maybe I should have gone Earthquake there, but I'm pretty sure he had the Hydro Cannon here, so I went Meteor Mash, was hoping it was enough. And as you'll see, we just don't quite make it, and we were right. It did CMP the Hydro Cannon. A really, really close game there. For 2 lost leads, those are 2 really, really well-played games, I must say. So a great swap the game before by my opponent to just barely win the lead. And then we're going to get into a few more games. These are just going to be some more rudimentary leads here. Couple of close games with the Machamp team. This team's been doing really, really well for me. I've even got a game to show you, the last game, which is the reason why I love this team so much and what it can do if you play it correctly. So as you know, we go into the Metagross. Metagrosses are expecting cross chop, so we don't fool around. We don't try to overcharge. We just go straight for the close combat. We throw the close combat. Something I've learned as I played this more and more is you want to undercharge the close combat. You'll see me leave some bubbles there. You hit just about a great, and you want to undercharge the close combat so that you can leave this matchup with a full charge move. The other thing that happens when you undercharge and the opponent sees that you're loading up, it encourages them to swap out. I've seen more and more and more in these matchups where the Metagrosses are actually swapping out with a very, very low amount of health, as you see there, because they're like, well, I'm screwed anyway. He's getting energy. I have to swap. Like, I'm never winning switch advantage. So they go into a safe swap. And I'm going to throw the Rock Slide here and pull out into my Snorlax. We're preserving the Machamp for the Metagross that he has left, and the other Pokemon, which we're assuming is probably going to be pretty good against this. After the Rock Slide lands, the Gyarados is going to be farmable for the Snorlax. We're going to be able to farm up as much energy as we're comfortable with. We're so thick we can take the charge moves. And as you'll see, once he throws the Outrage, I just say the heck with it. I'm going to go for the full farm down. Maybe this was a little bit of greedy. I like making plays like this, though. It's just something I do a lot. I know I have switch advantage in this game. I know he has a dead Metagross, and so he essentially has one Pokemon, 2 shields versus 2 Pokemon with energy and 1 full Pokemon for me. I double check to see what's coming on the playing field. It's not the Metagross, so I start throwing my energy here, and it's a Mamoswine, which is just beautiful. I've got superpower. I'm double superpowering. I can swap. We have a lot of play here. We did use our energy on our Machamp, though, so our Machamp is low energy. But the bottom line is this Mamoswine needs multiple charge moves against me to have any effect. And he tries to swap on the CMP of the close combat. He fails on that. And then some weird thing happens there where my close combat, even though I'm trying to throw it before the swap, didn't queue during the swap, and then didn't queue after the swap. So I just lose my Machamp and my energy there, which is unfortunate. But even if we get bulldozed here, we survive this. We get the Meteor Mash. So he's going for the bulldoze, which wouldn't quite KO me. And it is just going to come down to the Meteor Mash here, and we're going to be able to take out our opponent. A really close game there, and a really good win. I've got one more close game here against Willows as we get into it. The Garchomp coming out against the Machamp, and this is another one of my favorite leads, and something where I can teach you something really quick. The way to know what Garchomp is throwing, Outrage will CMP your close combat. Our close combat was CMP'd. It means that this Garchomp is using the charge move on the tap of the Outrage, so it's most likely Outrage. So we know to shield. He doesn't know to shield ours because he's expecting Cross Chop. And it hasn't quite clicked in people's heads yet that maybe if close combat comes around more, but it's just not popular. It's just not popular. And you'll see here we don't lose any charge moves or anything, or any fast moves. We're able to just tap down there. I played that matchup earlier in the same stream, had lost a fast move and was not able to tap down the Garchomp, which made it really difficult. But you can see here how close combat can affect the game heavily, where we immediately know to shield, we take out the Garchomp, no problem. Mamoswine comes in, extremely weak to us, has to shield, and we're off to the races here. We're going to be threatening KOing with either charge move. I'm honestly thinking about shielding this, and I let it go though because we do have the Snorlax in the back, which is just major thick boy, can take these charge moves, can get a little energy plus body slamming this for the KO, which is I believe what I do. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to get a little bit of energy. We're going to take a charge move. And the body slam from this range doesn't quite KO. Mamoswine's, body slam just doesn't do a whole lot of damage. It is stab. And we CMP'd that. So hopefully, if I was thinking about this correctly, I would have undercharged this. But what it is I'm in such a good spot in the game. I'm not worried about undercharging. I just want to take the Mamoswine out, make sure it doesn't get a charge move I didn't expect it to get. The Metagross comes back in. We're very strong against the Metagross that we're ahead on energy with. We can go straight body slams here. 3 body slams and licks are usually enough. But with the little bit less of health we have, I believe we're going to go body slam, swap on what should be a Meteor Mash. Counter the Meteor Mash, we swap. So we take the Meteor Mash onto our Metagross, a very solid switch there. Usually I go with about 6 to 7, depending on if it swaps in or not. 6, if it doesn't swap in, 7 when I count the arm swings for Meteor Mash. So we're going to be able to go straight into ours. We've gotten the Meteor Mash from the first time. He did not overcharge at all, so he's only at a Meteor Mash here. We don't have to shield. We can throw our Meteor Mash, which will bring him very, very low, him or her. And it's going to put us in a great spot as we get towards the next battle. As we get towards the next Pokemon. And that Metagross is going to come back in. And as you know, we have Snorlax, we have a Shield, and we have Energy. But all we need is the Body Slam here. And we're going to be able to close out that matchup. So a lot of information there. How to play Metagross leads, how to play Garchomp leads, what to do against bad leads. And when you have it all figured out and you get lucky enough, you might end up with a game like this. We lose the lead terribly. It's a Dragonite. We need to swap out here. We're going to do what we always do. We don't. We go straight into the Metagross on this one. We've seen a lot of Dragonite. We've seen a lot of Dragonite double steal teams today. So what we did is instead of going Snorlax, we're keeping the Snorlax because it's more valuable, and we actually went Metagross. We went against what we usually do because of the teams, because literally the 5-6 teams we just played before. We literally just played the team we're playing here, and we're game planning it. It's weird to me that my opponent did not switch out though. With the he stayed in and he threw the Draco, and he just about took out our Metagross. But we do luckily get this Meteor Mash. After taking the Draco Meteor, the Dragonite swaps out, and it's going to mean that we have a we have 2 shields to 1 shield. They have a Dragonite with medium health. They have a Metagross as well as a Pokemon that we don't know, but we're assuming it's double steal because that's what we've seen. We've seen double steal the last few matches with Dragonite in the lead, and we're playing to that. So when we see this Metagross, we're going to farm it all the way down, because if they have a Dragonite and if they have a Magnezone in the back, all we need is energy in this game. We don't need anything else. We need our Machamp and we need energy. We don't need the Snorlax. We don't even need it. We need this one Pokemon, and we need 80 to 90 energy to be able to do this. Because we need to double Rock Slide the Dragonite when they don't think they can, and then we can just, and then the extra few counters, if we can get those in, we'll be able to take out the Magnezone in the back. Had we swapped in Snorlax, they would have just swapped in Magnezone in the very beginning, and the game would have been much harder for us. Being able to identify the teams and the things you're seeing on Go Battle League are really, really important from day to day. Pokemon are going to change, teams are going to change, things are going to change. I literally played 10 of these games this late at night. I think I led into 8 Dragonite leads, and I adapted with it. Part of being a good GBL battler is adapting. And we got really, really lucky there to land the Rock Slide and get a few counters. I remember saying on the stream, I need a few counters to be able to get the close combat before the Mirror Shot from the Magnezone in the back. The Magnezone comes in 100% as we expect. We get the close combat off, and we land the headshot. And wouldn't you know, what a beautiful finish to that game. What a beautiful finish to this video. Again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the introduction into Go Stadium. We had 5 really good battles to show you tonight. A little information on how to play back from lost leads, how to play Metagross leads, how to play Garchomp, and I hope that you have fun playing your Master League battles today. Remember, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, guys, just keep on tapping. Until next time.